Ask Brenda and Kathy, ABC Talks. Today, Brenda is not able to be on, so it's just AC. Not air conditioning, no. Ask Kathy. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about mindset and how I first learned about it in my lifetime and how it's affected me and how it's changed for me throughout my life and throughout my experiences. Because as I get older, it's easy to reflect on your experiences and situations that you're in before. So today we'll talk about mindset, and you might be surprised at how I first learned about it. So mindset means it's a belief about yourself and how that can impact your success or failure. There's two different kinds of mindset. Fixed is one that where people believe that they're born with something and that it can't be changed. For instance, I'm a natural born soccer player and it can't be changed. No matter what I do, it's not going to change and make me any better. Or I can't play soccer, and no matter what I do to try and improve, it's not going to change anything. So that's fixed. They believe that athletic skills or intellectual skills can't be changed or learned. The other kind of, when they have the mindset like a fixed mindset, then they tend to avoid challenges, ignore feedback from others, they feel threatened by success that others are having. They try and hide their flaws so that not to be judged, and I've done that before. And they believe putting in effort is worthless because you're born the way you are and you're not going to be able to change anything. I was born this way, Lady Gaga. So, and they give up a little too easily. The growth mindset is what I'm trying to develop, and that's where you know that your life can change. If you're not good at something, it doesn't matter because you can practice a little more. You can change your ability through hard work. All the athletes that I watch on my sports channel, they didn't become athletes by just sitting in their chair and saying, okay, I'm a good baseball player, I'm a good hockey player. No, they put in a lot of work and they improved through all that work. Now you're always going to find naysayers in whenever you do something. There's always people that are going to say, you can't do that, or you're too short, or you're too tall, or you're not fast enough, or you're not strong enough, you're not smart enough. So we have to learn to get by those obstacles and move on. So the mindset that is the growth mindset is what I'm working on, and it's to embrace challenges and to believe in yourself, which I have not always been able to do. And it's persist through obstacles and learn from criticism. There was a time where criticism would stop me in my tracks. I wouldn't be able to do anything. So I've moved past that a little bit. And they're inspired by others. I get inspired every day by my friends, my family, my teammates in my business. Everybody, that I'm in contact with now inspires me. So to get back to the mindset part, where did I first hear about this? When I was young, probably 6 or 7 years old, my mother said to me, Kathy, you can do anything you want to do in this life. You can be anybody you want to be in this life. You just need to set your mind to it. Set your mind to it. Mindset. That was the first time I ever heard of that. And she kept telling me that all the time as I was growing up. So when I got to be I'll just tell you a little story about, I was in a concert band when I was from the age of 9 to 18. When I was about 15, there was an adjudication coming up, a contest, and I was in a group with 6 other kids. There were 2 groups. It was a brass competition, and the other group were all the older kids. They were 17, 18 years old, and they were the leads in each section. So they'd been around longer and they had more experience and they had more practice. My group were ages 13 to 15. We were the seconds and thirds in the band. So we weren't expected to be as good as the other group. So that was a challenge, and I took on that challenge. And I thought, well, we're not probably going to win, but we're going to try our best. And we're going to practice hard, and we're going to improve. So I gathered up all the other kids, and we practiced several times a week until the adjudication came up, the concert. And we both groups played their parts, played their music. And afterwards, the adjudicator said, well, one group was by far superior to the other group. So I sighed and I thought, well, that's okay. We tried, we put everything into it that we could, and we come second out of two. Doesn't matter. We still tried. We put it all, we gave it all we could. So we can be proud of ourselves. And then he said the winning group was the second group, our group. We won. We won over the older kids because we practiced. They took it for granted that they were going to win. They didn't. They didn't need to practice. They thought, oh, well, those other kids, they're younger. Of course, we are going to win easily. So that was one time where our mindset, accept the challenge, learn, grow. And so then when I went to university, my mother had been talking to me all the time up until I was 18 about you can do anything you want to do. You can be anybody you want to be. So when I went to university at 18, I had no doubts that I was going to be successful. I knew that I was smart enough to do the university. I knew that I could make friends. I was friendly enough to make friends. I was athletic enough to be on team sports, so I knew I'd be accepted into groups. So I knew that everything was going to go good. And my mother was my biggest cheerleader, and so she encouraged me. So I moved to the little bigger city, went to university, and finished with 2 degrees from that university. Later, I went and got a 3rd degree in the United States in Oregon. That was a whole other challenge for me to be away from my home country with and taking classes and meeting all new people and everything. But that worked out good too. My mindset was a little bit different then, but I was still successful at that. So over the years, my mindset changed a little bit, and I didn't want to disappoint myself or other people. So I became a little shyer and a little more worried about what I was doing. And then I read a psychology professor from Stanford University. It said that you make new neural connections are formed when you make mistakes. So I was afraid of making mistakes. I was afraid to be embarrassed. I was afraid to look like I didn't know how to do something. And so then she says your brain actually grows by messing up a bit. So I felt, lucky for me, because I've messed up a lot in my life. So the brain growing more neural connections as we go. And so I now follow, if at first you don't succeed, try again, try again, or practice makes perfect. So that's what I'm doing. I'm working on my doubts. It wasn't long ago that I told everyone that I would never do a Facebook Live in my life. There was no way I was going to get on Facebook and talk to people and put myself out there, because what if I screwed up? What if I made a mistake? What if I looked dumb? What if? Then I thought, well, gee, that's not a very good way to look at it. So I decided to take this on, use it as a growing experience, and learn from it. And today, my partner wasn't able to make it onto the live today. I could have said, okay, well, let's just cancel it. We'll go on next week when we're all ready to go again, and we'll just take today off. But I didn't want to do that because I want to improve. I know I can improve, and so that's a goal that I'm setting for myself. I want to do the best I can and learn from this experience, no matter how hard I might think it might be, or how nervous I might get beforehand. So I now know that I can do a live. I might not always want to do a live, but that's a choice. If I want to do it, I know I can do it. So I wonder sometimes, how did I get to this point in time where I can accept mistakes better than I could before? So I've learned that accepting failure and challenge is an opportunity. So I grabbed onto this opportunity to do the live myself. And that's always something I taught my kids as a teacher. If you make mistakes, that's okay, because that's where you're going to learn. So I've realized that my life has been transformative. It's a journey. And I've always been shaping and reshaping my mindset. Been in the fixed for a while, where, okay, I can't do that because I'm not as good and smart as this other person, to, okay, maybe I can do that because I can learn. I know I can learn, and so I can become maybe just as good, or almost as good, or as good as the other person. And so I watch people who I want to be like, and who are successful at what they want to be, and are at places where I want to go. So I watch them and I learn from them. Brenda says, if you make mistakes, the viewers don't know better. But that's true, unless I totally forget what I'm going to talk about, and that would be not very good. People would know then. So I just want to tell everybody on this live who's watching me or watching the replay that just, believe in yourself. Belief is the main thing. If you don't believe in yourself, then it's going to be a lot more difficult to change your mindset, if not impossible to change your mindset, because you have to believe that you can do it and then work towards it. So in the words of my mother, just set your mind to do it. Believe in yourself. And remember that success begins with the right mindset. So thank you, everybody, for joining me on this short talk. I think it's been about 10 to 12 minutes. I didn't even think it would go that long. But anyway, until next time, we'll see you next week. It'll be ABC Talks again. Brenda will be back. So stay positive, keep believing in yourself, and keep on your journey. Bye for now. See you next week.